par 72 for the world number one. 33 putts yesterday. Looking to bring that number down on this Friday.
Well, this club in her hand right here was just on display yesterday. It was beautiful. It was artwork.
From England, please welcome Charlie.
The world number one deliberating. She'll be next to play.
On this? Yeah. Where do you like starting at?
Probably out of.
And let the wind kind of do its thing? Yeah. Yeah, that sounds really good.
Is that going to come back?
No, wow, just that backstop just a little bit, and getting prettier by the minute. She had one birdie yesterday, and that was on the 18th hole. I think it was like 2 birdies in a row, just carried over from yesterday.
Yes. And most importantly, she's still in the fight, which is something she couldn't say 1 year ago at Lancaster Country Club. You saw that 80 that she shot, that par 3 that got away from her. It was a nightmarish Thursday 1 year ago.
Well, and it really, the 80 is slightly deceiving because she made a 10 on a par 3.
Right.
And really the rest of her round was okay. The fact that she even came back and fought with even par, it was actually even kind of flirted with making the cut a little bit on that round too, but just shot herself out of it on one hole. Very different story yesterday.
It was almost the shades of Rory McIlroy at Royal Portrush in 2019, who had a nightmarish first hole and then put himself behind the 8 ball, nearly fought back to make the cut on that Friday, but came up just short, as Nelly did 1 year ago. Absolutely. So we'll head back up to the green. Nelly Korda. Julia had a good break and kind of used that slope behind the green.
A lot of course knowledge there, using that backstop, taking the bunker short almost out of play by using that backstop, and she's left herself a really nice putt here. She's putting from the opposite side that Charlie was just on, so she saw Charlie's ball move a little to her left at the end, so this should be left to right for Nelly here.
Oh, it was a little more challenging, just the fact that it's a left to right putt, right-handed players, and it was downhill, so she couldn't be as aggressive as Charlie, but that was the story of yesterday. Just burning edges. She even said that she felt like she putted every ball well. She felt like she put good strokes on it, and that's what we saw in the coverage. It was just either misreading it or just burning those edges and having lip outs.
Solid start nonetheless. A player who has become the face of the LPGA Tour. Great to have you with us. World number one, Nelly Korda, on the tee at 11.
Anything just right of that camera tower is a really good line.
Little club twirl. It was a driving exhibition yesterday, as you mentioned, Amanda. 12 of 14 fairways hit.
Well, and even that
save. And now Nelly here at 11.
130 yards, perfect spot in this fairway.
Yeah. Good shot as it creeps just a little bit closer to the hole. She'll try to make her first.
Yes.
She finished tied for 14th at Chevron. Just 2 top 15 finishes in 2025 does Lexi. Here's Nelly Korda after a wonderful approach, Julia.
Yes, beautiful shot in, but unfortunately she has another left-right putt here, and it'll be pretty quick. So similar to the first hole, she'll have to be a little tentative with this one. Started out to the left, should pull back right.
Yeah, the sliders are just, you're playing defense.
Yeah, and that had so much break to it that it would have been just it was a very challenging putt.
Yep. Little shake of the head 4-4 start for the world number 1. Pursuit of her 3rd major championship. 2 opening pars for the world number 1, who has reached the 12th tee.
Going with driver on a really good line here, down the middle.
Yeah, nice tight draw down the left.
A little bit on the heavy side
Yeah.
with those irons. Gets a little bit more divot than she probably wants.
Now here's Nelly.
Ball slightly on the upslope here. Line shot coming over this dune, but Nelly walked up herself to try to get a sight line here. Also going to come up a little short.
Away from the hole and gets farther and farther away. I'm familiar with that scenario quite a bit as Nelly Korda steps in.
Well, this is her 3rd green in a row where she's had a left to right breaking putt. Fortunately here, though, it's an uphill putt. Not one that you want to get super aggressive with. You want to cozy something up there, but she could give it a run.
Oh, that's more of an exhale than a celebration, Amanda.
I was ready yesterday to her to pull a happy Gilmore. Are you too good for your home? It was so close. So just yesterday, every green. Now she said, I've made one.
Let's take a look. Yeah, about time, man. That exhale was 2 days in the making.
It was. I only can put it so close so many times before one of these finally goes in. And the fact that she said she felt like she putted really well yesterday.
Yeah.
She felt like I never hit a bad putt. They just kept missing. There was that misread.
Up to the tee at 13, the world number 1 off birdie.
She might be world number 1 in the fastest player in the world as well. She was teed up on this one before the group in front of us even got off the green, and pretty good shot there from 180 yards.
Yeah, just trying to creep up to that right level, and it will stay there. We can all take a page from down to 13. The world number 1 for birdie.
Really beautiful shot to get it to this point, leaving it below the hole, putting back uphill ever so slightly. You don't have a lot of opportunities out here to be aggressive with birdie putts. This is an opportunity here for Nelly to go back to back.
Bit of a misread. A solid 2-putt. She'll remain 3 shots back with a par 5 upcoming.
Against that rough collar.
Now Nelly.
223, ball below her feet. She's starting this out a little left of that whole location, trying to run something up.
And does. For the world number 1, she'll have an eagle putt upcoming.
Yesterday, this played the easiest hole for the field, playing about a quarter shot under.
Go back to the par 5. And watch Nelly here, who has accomplished so much in this game, so young, 26 years of age, has to be the face of this sport. Last year attended the Met Gala. This year made her SI swimsuit cover debut. It's not like she's been invisible. She is present.
Yeah, and I really know that that's not a super comfortable place for Nelly. That's not really her personality. She really does like to stay in her bubble and her bubble of her team. So it was great to see her at the Met Gala last year and see. I mean, she's beautiful and athletic, and it's wonderful for women's golf to have even.
Corpus 2 years ago, the U.S. Women's Open at Pebble Beach did Charlie Hull. Now after a great second shot, world number 1 has this for 3.
And she got a great read off of Charlie's putt, putting on a very similar line here, so she knows exactly what it's going to do. Nelly's had quite a few left to right breakers today, and realistically through 4 holes she could be 3 or 4 under. Her ball striking has been immaculate. This would be a really nice 3 here.
You see how far up she had to hit that. It's going over an old cup. Nice little two-putt
Yeah.
for birdie.
You could hear her caddy, Jason, say, nice stroke, nice putt. I mean, all affirmative, positive, optimistic. Tapping birdie's got to feel good. And the world number one creeps ever closer to the lead. 2 under in her opening 5 holes. Off birdie at 14. Off birdie at 14 on the tee at 15.
Going with the wood here, just trying to avoid those fairway bunkers down in the middle of the fairway. This is a good-looking shot.
This is the highest point. That tee box is the highest point in the entire golf course, so everything just is so downhill.
So we'll go back to the 15th hole with the world number one.
You really couldn't have placed it in a better spot in the fairway. This is go zone here.
Wow. She listened, Julia, just went right at that absolute pin-seeking.
Wonderful shot also by Charlie Hall. World number one with a chance.
Her easiest birdie putt of the day, beyond that little tap-in she had at the last. And maybe that was a poor stroke there, Amanda. I know she's hit a lot of good strokes, but that was a pretty simple putt.
Yeah, and that was one of the first right-to-left putts. Might actually be the first right-to-left putt that she has had all day, and that's kind of a right-handed golfer's dream.
Yeah.
Uphill, slightly right-to-left, can be a little firm with it, and that...
So Lexi Thompson has already made her bogey. This is for par for Nelly. Oh my.
Oh, ow, what is happening?
Bad juju on this hole.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
And Amanda, she couldn't have played it better. Tee to green, it's a clinic out here, ball striking. I think she might have lost a little bit of confidence with the putter in her hand.
Well, even, I mean, we saw her miss birdie putts yesterday, where they're about 20 feet, 15 feet. That's kind of been the first birdie putt we've seen makeable, really.
This huge property, and now Nelly at 16.
Have to just clear your mind, forget about the last hole, try to put a good swing on this one here. Trying to chase it up that tier. Is it going to get up there?
Yeah, she seemed not to like it. It kind of looked frustrated with that shot, but that's a really good position to be able to be fairly aggressive with that putt.
Yeah, bad taste in her mouth after that last hole, and it did not stay.
Big, this green kind of almost looks a little bit with the ridges like a snowman. And what part of the
16th hole, Nelly Korda, ball rolled back to this point for birdie.
Putting back up the slope. You got to be careful that you don't hit it too firmly, that once it crests that hill, it gets away from you. That's the difficulty of putting back it up over tiers out here.
Not the one you want after last hole's misadventures, Amanda.
Yes, and I'm thinking she's probably trying to trick her mind a little bit, say, all right, that was just a fluke. That was not a little work in, a little practice.
Absolutely. Now, this is Nelly Korda's offering for par, Julia.
This is outside of the putt that she just missed on the last hole for par, so this will test her. See if she can regroup here. A little left to right.
Stroke.
And does. Good stroke.
I really think you said it. The last hole, it just looked like she lost focus.
Yeah, she's
just kind
out
of
of
like
nowhere.
just in that you cannot at a women's U.S. Open, even no matter where you're on the golf course. Obviously,
I mean,
yeah, it's a good little holding spot.
yeah. All part of the presentation. Now here's Nelly also with driver, coming off of a confidently struck putt.
So fun to watch her hit driver. It doesn't look like she swings hard at the ball at all. One of the longest hitters out here. So smooth, such great tempo. It's really fun to watch.
And these three players hit it about the same distance. Obviously, evident right there. It makes me look smart.
Control of her irons. Now, Nelly at 17.
167 left. Wind picking up just a little bit at our backs.
Comes up a little bit shy, but world number one, Nelly Korda with this for birdie at 17.
They're making the 17th look pretty easy. This is a flat putt here. It goes slightly back uphill at the very end. What a birdie.
Needed it, got it. Nelly making her voice heard. And she pulls to within 3 shots of the lead. The par 5 to come. A couple of them.
And that's definitely one of those that is so.
The featured group has reached the 18th tee, including the world number 1.
Going with driver here, an aggressive play. Wind is at our backs. There's fairway bunkers on the right side that she has to miss. She gets caught in those. It's a pretty difficult shot, and this is headed out to the right.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of one-handed finishes in this national championship. Just
Okay.
now here's the world number 1, and Julia looks like she's facing some challenges here.
Really unfortunate that it stayed up in this fescue. It would have been a much easier shot if she would have just found the bunker. She's gripping this all the way down to the shaft, and it was well done to get it out of there on that downslope.
That was really flirting with even more trouble. Say the eyebrows of the bunker.
Yeah.
It just brushed over it. That was so challenging, and that's what makes one of the aspects that makes Erin Hills so unique and so difficult, is that just asking for it to get into the bunker isn't a gift. And she said, shy kids don't get sweets. And she said, I'm going for it. Try to wrap
Love
it
it.
around that tree.
Put it on a t-shirt. And here's Nelly. Trying to stay up on the green.
Kind of almost try to help it by giving it a little jog. Run it up there.
Just off, looks like. That left for her 4th. At the layup. Out of the fescue, short of that bunker in the fairway. There's 7 Solheim Cups on her resume. Next year it'll be held in the Netherlands, then in 2028 at Valhalla, Kentucky. So we got Nelly. This for birdie, Julia?
In a very difficult hole so far for Nelly. Poor drive off the tee, almost left it in the bunker. She had to hit a really nice layup out of that fescue and then hit a beautiful long iron to get it to this point. This will judge her speed control here, putting back up that major slope.
Yeah, great putt.
Yeah, nicely done.
I didn't want to get too aggressive with it and then
Yeah.
kind of end up where Charlie is. That's going to be a testy speed putt coming back down that hill.
Nelly Korda, so accomplished at the age of 26. 15 wins, 2 majors.
On the back 9.
And finally, the Olympic gold medalist from Tokyo is for par.
You talk about how young Nelly is and the fact that she's had those 15 wins. And she also said it being her 9th year on the LPGA Tour, that not one season has ever been the same. That each season has been so different, has had its ups and downs, has had its challenges, it has had...
Except hard to do, though, to execute. Now Nelly
Love it.
on the tee. Not able to take advantage of the par 5 18th. Looking for better here. A couple under on her round today and in the championship. 2 shots back.
We saw her take that practice swing with her kind of one-handed left arm. That is totally for feel. It's a drill that she did a lot yesterday in a pre-shot.
Gonna like that one. Longest of the 3.
A run up as an option.
That one ran away like a ground squirrel. Now here's Nelly.
Much closer, 232. She's trying to chase something up this right side.
And does just that. Eagle putt upcoming for the world number 1.
Conservatively and smart.
And Nelly Korda trying to get the feel of this big green, Julia.
What a shot she hit. So disciplined. She wasn't trying to get too cute with it. She utilized the contours of the fairway, using the slope on the right side to get something onto this green. And she's going to give this one a run here, you'd have to think.
Yeah, fun to watch her kind of work with what the golf course gave her there, Amanda.
Oh, absolutely, and that's one of the holes that you can do that here. There isn't the bunkers that prohibit, block the screen, can use the rolling terrain to the player's advantage, is exactly what she did. Now she has a putt for eagle.
To get within one of Mao Saigo.
Come on now. Good job.
Another tap-in birdie for the world number 1.
Looking at Nelly's stats this year, you would think she had easily won multiple times on the LPGA Tour. She is playing really good golf. She leads the tour in scoring average, 11th in greens and regulation, 5th in the Midwest. When you feel the temperature drop, when pick up your, it's coming.
Yeah, nice birdie for the world number 1. A smile. She pulls within 2 of the lead.
I know she's doing what needs to be done on 14, 1, getting those birdies to drop on the par 5s. 18 she would have liked to go, but that her rare.
And now Nelly at the second.
78 yards left. And that's
Long
carried just a little too. Yeah.
Happens. A little left pull goes a little farther.
Yep. Right push goes left.
Not her best effort with the wedge, but she does have an uphill putt now that she can be a bit more aggressive with.
I think you just almost going right up this runway here. There's like 4 pitch marks in a row. I think you just right through here, which is like your putter was right here.
Yeah, Nelly just one of those players who name on a leaderboard carries some weight, just adds some oomph to a championship. It's a name players no question would be aware of.
And a huge threat, knowing that she's just lurking, and they're not watching like we are, knowing how low it could be.
Yeah. Just for 3.
Very hot.
Scoots just a bit by for the world number 1, trying to keep pace with the leader, who is 1 group behind. Now Nelly for par.
Not very much in this at all, but we would have said the same thing on the 15th, where she 3-putted from about 6 feet. Just needs to maintain her focus here.
Oh, and another one. It's almost the easier the putts, she kind of lets up just a little bit, and the really tricky breaking short putts she puts on the focus. That was, like Julia said, just not much to it. Looked like she just opened the club face.
In tennis, we call that an unforced error.
Yes, and we've now seen 2 of those. And it's just so unfortunate because she's been putting just such a great display. You see kind of that club face. Just looked like she opened it up just a little bit at impact.
And was that even 2 feet? It looked like barely 2 feet. Up to the 3rd, world number 1.
Yeah.
On a really good line here.
And the longest drive by far of this group.
Going today. Charlie's still even, as you can see. Lexi struggling a bit now, 4 over. What can Nelly do here at the 3rd?
Sliding down a wedge, very solidly struck. Good line, too.
So she'll have another look, but you saw by how that ball finished just how much that...
It certainly is, and Nelly's only about 25 feet from the hole, but this is actually a tough 2-putt. This putt breaks tremendously from left to right in the middle and will be very quick around the hole.
The challenge she has now, after having missed a couple of short putts, is being tentative on the longer ones, knowing that you've got to snuggle it up there close because you don't want to leave yourself a knee knocker to clean up par.
Well, she was 103rd in strokes gained putting in the first round. She had 33 putts.
With this club over the first day and a half. Starts this one up the right side. She doesn't like it, kind of one-armed her finish, looking to avoid the bunkers.
Oh, and it avoids the bunker bones, but is down there right now. Let's go to 4, Bones, and how does this lie look for Nelly?
Well, certainly missed the fairway here, but a great break into the ball, sitting very nicely in some grass. It's not particularly high, and she's got a great angle to a left hole location. So from 146, she can be aggressive here.
And she is.
It'll help.
Yeah, good call, Bones. She'll have a look at birdie. Saigo has. Speaking of Nelly, let's get back up to the green.
Looking it over with her caddy, putting back down the hill. A very good second shot, considering she had a bit of an awkward stance playing that shot from 146. The one thing she has to do here is respect the speed. This is a ball that could get past the hole quickly and run out some.
And look at the difference between the amount of putts, the distance of putts she's made today compared to yesterday. Working on double by the time she finishes this round. And that one goes from 14.5 feet. She was only 1 for 8 from that distance this week with the putter. Well, make that 2.
And those 2 bogeys are both due to the short putts that she's missed. So if
She's got a par 5 to come. Let's go to the tee at the 5th, and Nelly Korda. Long par 4, playing 450 yards today. And that is right through those bunkers. Yeah, really good from Nelly, taking advantage of the length. Remember, we saw Andrea Lee. She was back behind those bunkers and had run back down the slope. So the longer hitters have a huge... And now Nelly.
The longer I stay out here watching Nelly play, the more I'm convinced she might be the best driver of the ball in the game. Just an incredible golf swing and really moves it out here. This on a good line.
Another birdie chance for Korda. He's had so many over the first couple of days. And thank you to Maria Fassi for taking the time to do that during a major. Now, Nelly Korda for birdie. Yes, so maybe that putt is starting to work for Nelly Korda, and if it does, watch out. I think she could climb up and challenge Saigo very quickly with the way that she's played tee to green, so bad fortune.
Now, Nelly Korda tied 2nd, 3 off of the lead, stood on the tee at the 6th.
Very tough hole today, 181. Nelly going with 8-iron on a green that slopes away from her.
she's late on it. That's not going to be an easy shot because it's going to be uphill the first portion and then downhill that second portion. A mistimed poor shot on a golf hole that played one of the most difficult.
And we'll go up to the 6, Bones, and this is what Nelly's left with for her 2nd.
Should be picking up speed towards the end of this run out.
What a play. That's looking like a good par save from the world #1, who's just 3 back and a big back at 6. Nelly Korda to save par. She's missed a couple short ones today. This one crucial where she is right now in that big tie for 2nd. No problem.
Stood over that a little while.
Well, you saw that stat. 2 missed putts inside 3 feet today. That was 3 feet 6 inches, and she walks away with the par at the 6th. 15 yards, the par 5. And Nelly Korda, this is one of her strengths.
.251 yards to the back edge of the right bunker. That was towards the left side. No problem whatsoever finding the fairway again.
Yeah, she carries it beautifully, and we'll take a moment in the middle of the fairway once again.
And we saw her hammer a 3-wood on the 18th green yesterday. She's got a chance to reach here. Very high and drawing. And that ball is going to release back a significant slope for some time, I believe.
Yeah, it's still going. And as we've been speaking about, the tricky thing here now is to avoid any divots, and it looks like she has done. So Nelly Korda is trying to chase down the lead that is held by the championship through 2 rounds. Let's go to 7. Nelly Korda.
As previously stated, this ball did dodge all the divots in this particular area. Nelly left with 57 yards back into the breeze.
You kind of just trust the number at that point, not having the ability to visualize the shot. Well played.
At the cut line right now, how costly could that be come the end of the day? Back to 7.
That was Roussin Bouchard. Now back to the 7th, and Nelly Korda. What she got here, Bones?
And we've got to give her so much credit for the kind of round she has played today after that very consistent but underwhelming first round yesterday, given the fact she had so many birdie putts and only made 1 of them. She has been on top of her game today, 4 under, which includes 2 missed 3-footers. So a very solid ball striking day once again.
And she holds another. I spoke to her after the round yesterday. She said she wasn't too concerned about the lack of birdie putts she managed to convert. She just underread some and burned a couple edges. And, well, as Bones just explained, she's really come out firing today. That's another, gets to 5 under page, just 2 back.
Well, and again, the low on the golf course right now is Nelly Korda and Mao Saigo for the day. Both.
Go back to the tee. Actually slightly harder today to find the fairway than yesterday. So it's very strange the way that this hole is actually playing so much easier.
Players able to take it over the left corner here.
It's been a very popular spot to miss it. We can see a lot of the golf ball, which is good news.
So hard to hit this fairway today, Tom, as you mentioned, downwind. Just not enough room for this ball to stop from running out for most of these players.
Pretty good across, so this can finish kind of on the line of the sprinkler heads, would be about max right.
And he missed 2 greens so far.
And she's
Got it?
drawing
You
a
got a
good
good line?
line in the rough here.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
156 total back up the hill, playing in the low 160s. This is an 8-iron, right of the flag.
Right there. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Good job from there.
To the green. Now Nelly likes to chip from very close by the green.
She certainly does.
She's got wonderful touch, Bones.
Great hands.
And that will be for a par for Nelly, who's played her way into the championship today. No doubt about it. Looking for the fairway makes it even more difficult, so we'll see how she handles that. Back up to the green, and Nelly for par. Okay, found some confidence with that putter. As Bones was saying, missed a couple of really short ones earlier in the round, but it suddenly started working.
Oh, on the right yesterday, they're back over to the one on the left-hand side today, playing 150 yards, Bones.
8-iron, excuse me, wedge 8 yards down the hill, playing 142. Just at it, but needs to stay on the fat part of the green there, which it does.
It's going to be a tricky putt. Let's go back to 17. Now back to 9. Nelly Korda.
And there's some downhill in this putt, so got to get the pace right.
Yeah, well done. Trying to just cap off what's been a wonderful round of golf on Friday at the US Women's Open. 5 under par, looking to tap that in. Pebble Beach ultimately finished runner-up to Alison Corpuz. Nelly Korda to cap off what has been a great day.
She had to put up today, and she did it. Heck of a score.
Well, that is the low round of this championship to this point. Now Saigo might well better it shortly. But for now, Nelly Korda posts the round of the day with a 67. Incredible effort from the world #1 after opening with a slightly frustrating even par round yesterday, but she grinded it out, Paige, and it's paid off today.
I can pretty much predict what her post-round interview is going to look like. It's going to say, I hit it pretty much the same. I just made a couple more putts.
As she walked up here, did you realize this was your best round in a U.S. Women's Open? And she said, no. Wow, she was pretty shocked. Yesterday, you said you had no complaints with your even par round. How would you assess your play out there today?
Yeah, no complaints really. You know, a couple of the balls found the bottom of the cup, so I was really happy to see that. But other than that, you know, hit it pretty good. The pins were a little tougher today, so overall I'm very pleased with my round.
Yeah, quite a few found the bottom of the cup. In fact, let's take a look at some of the highlights from your round today. You started on the back. Here you are at 12, the par 4.
I am very thankful that this hit the cup. That was coming in hot. Use the backboard there a little too.
And that was for your first birdie of the day. Now on to the par 5 14th, your second.
Yeah, I was in between clubs. I was in between a 7-wood and a 3-wood, and I just took a little bit off the 3-wood to kind of make sure that it got up on the green. No complaints there. Hit it how I wanted to.
And then over to the par 4 15th, excuse me, the next hole.
Yeah, no comment. I'm not commentating on that one. Honestly, that it was just a poor putt. Yeah.
Let that one slide by there. Okay, now on to 17.
Yeah, it's nice to bounce back, see one go in. It was an interesting read. I thought it was going to go left, but it kind of went back right at the hole, and then for par on the second, yeah. That was great too. Why are you guys showing me this?
These are all the highs and lows of the day.
Just doing highlights.
All right, now on to the 4th.
Yeah, I hit my tee shot a little right, got a little lucky, and downhill putt right to left. And then this one on 7, I couldn't get there in 2 completely. It was down the swale, but had a pretty simple pitch shot up the hill.
Yeah, that for your 7th birdie of the day. It's still quite early. You've got the rest of today. What will you do now to prepare for the final 2 days of this championship?
I'm just going to chill, spend time with family, and possibly take a nap.
Sounds like a good plan. We appreciate the time. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, Amy.
Sounds perfect.